This is the Need to Heed podcast with Jake Lynch
and Fernando Davila.
Welcome to this week's episode of Need to Heed. Today's episode is called Absorption through Education. This is kind of a part two, if you will, to our last episode, which was Solutions through Education. In the last episode, if you remember, with Fernando and I, we talked about how we could fix social issues through the means of mindfulness, and essentially just talked about a way for everybody to be more inclusive with each other and just setting up ourselves for a better society. But this week, we're going to focus on how our organization, the organization Mindful Me, through Fernando, Alexa, Dan and I, and Jonathan, and the rest of the group, the strong group we have at Mindful Me, how we're going to be helping people find those solutions. So we're very excited for that. Essentially, what we're going to be talking about is the fact that we started as an organization with an idea, and that idea was summits, right, Fernando?
Yeah, so summits are like day-long, maybe 2-day-long, even 3-day-long workshops if you want. It's like, just to give you an idea of what you can compare it to. It's like workshops where a big group of all of us get together and actually teach you guys the ideas that we were taught in order to spread our message, in order to spread the word onto mindfulness and just like what we practice every day, so that you guys can come on and practice also every day. Now, Jay just trying to tell you guys the idea that we had and how we had to change it around a bit.
Yeah, so as a group, some of you may know this, some of you might not, if you listen to our Mega podcast. But in the Mega podcast, we talked about the podcast with everybody. I mean, we talked about the fact that the original founding members of Mindful Me were all a part of a mock trial team, right? So Fernando and I were on this mock trial team, and we all went to a competition called the Empire. And at this competition, we really started to think, because not only had we been a part of the mock trial team together, but we had all experienced multiple lessons in mindfulness together as a team. And what we experienced at this Empire mock trial competition was the need for not only something like it in the mindfulness realm, but also a way for workshops, the ability for people that have lessons to be taught to teach them. So as a group, we brainstormed, we came up with our wonderful name and logo. You've got that cup that we want to help you be able to empty and or fill, if you feel unfulfilled or if you feel like you've got too much on your plate. But not only did we come up with that, but we came up with a plan. We came up with the fact that we were going to host a summit at an undisclosed location. We had a couple of different venues going on that we actually were a couple of meetings away from locking down. But the coronavirus happened, obviously, and essentially we moved this summit, this wonderful thing where we're going to have so many people coming from so many different walks of life. And Fernando's going to tell you more about that stuff, tell you about the people that are going to be there. It's actually very exciting.
So from one wonderful thing, we moved to another, because like everyone else, we had to adjust. So
of course,
instead of canceling or prolonging it as much as we could, we decided to move it virtually, like everything else in this world right now.
Yeah, right? Because the message is still important. That's what.
Of course, that's the important thing. It doesn't matter how we do it, when we do it, where we do it, as long as it gets done and the message is spread to everyone. So
yeah,
obviously,
we also got the opportunity to offer it for free since it's online.
Of course. So obviously in the future, hopefully we'll be able to host more of these in-person summits. However, for now, the first one is going to be virtual. Like Jake said, it is going to be completely free. So that's awesome. And now I'm just gonna go
Very
into
cool.
a little bit of what it is exactly. So it's obviously open to anyone. Even now, it's even better that's it's in virtual form because you can be all around the world and join us for this amazing summit that we're offering. So the bright side of this is obviously the audience is way bigger now. You guys can come on from wherever you are in the world. And think about it, we have nothing but time right now in our hands. So it's gonna be truly amazing. So for this summit, we're gonna have different breakout rooms, breakout sessions within the virtual format. So we're gonna obviously have ourselves speaking to you guys, telling you guys how we practice mindfulness, what we were taught, and stuff like that. But we're also gonna have some crucial guests that we've already spoken with, we've already locked down and have. So from motivational speakers, and I'm not gonna say too much because obviously stuff is gonna get announced as we get closer to the date. And for everyone's information, the date is August 1st. All right, I muted him. It's okay. I'm not sure why there's some background noise, but what I was saying is that we're going to have a bunch of different guests. We have motivational speakers. We have athletes that are coming on. We have athletes from all around, from Clemson, from Harvard, the very special athlete that we're in contact with and have already discussed and is going to be part of this summit with us is Derek Wingo, who is the All-American Florida State Champion, Male Athlete of the Year. He is now a UF player in football and was actually, I believe, 7th in the nation. So
Go Gator.
so that's a huge athlete that's going to be in this summit with us. There's going to be Q&As with these people. There's going to be how they handle mindfulness through the stress of being in games, the stress of, having the pressure of all that stuff on the line. We're also having social media influencers with over hundreds of thousands of followers and how they deal with their stress and mindfulness through social media. So we're just gonna have a lot of different breakout sessions through the virtual format. And Jake, you're gonna you're here to tell us also that there is different different categories that we're gonna be speaking of. There's the mindfulness breathing, the mindfulness movements, and obviously, if this was in person, we would have physical breakout sessions where you would be able to, you know, do the motivational, sorry, mindful movements like yoga and stuff like that, and meditations and all that type of stuff. And obviously, as an organization, we already currently offer podcasts, meditations, inspirational weekly letters, and stuff like that. We're also working with other groups to provide you guys with resources on our page, different websites, different apps, different messages that you can all receive from other companies, from other organizations, from other groups that also have similar ideas to us that provide you guys stuff that helps us out. So obviously we want to spread that to you guys as well. That's also in the works. Now, like I said, this summit is going to be held on August 1st. We really ask for you guys to join us for this. It's going to be an amazing experience. It's completely free, and we've got nothing but time right now.
Yes, you can sign up right now. Actually, the sign up page is up. We already have people signing up. We have multiple people interested in the summit and what we're going to be doing on August 1st. You can do so at mindfulme.org.
Then
And
we have a summit
once you
tab.
get there, you just find our summit information, and also you can read more about who's going to be there, our community outreach, who we're trying to get to come aside from the people we already have coming. It's just a very exciting time for the organization and what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing more events with the podcasts and essentially just trying to do more of what we've been talking about in our previous podcast, everything from the education to now the absorption, right? And being able to use what you've learned is really what we're trying to teach.
And also, a big part of this summit is going to be Broward County Public Schools. For the Q&A that we're having, it's going to be with Mindful Me board members, obviously Jake, myself, the rest of the group that founded Mindful Me, as well as the board members, the social media influencers that I was speaking to you guys about earlier with over hundreds of thousands of followers. There's going to be BCPS, which is Broward County Public Schools, administrative members, and BCPS mindfulness ambassadors. Jonathan and I have been in several meetings with Broward County Public Schools. We've led a couple of mindfulness exercises for them in their workshop meetings. So this is something that's really going to be interesting and hopefully in the works along with Broward County Public Schools, because like we tell you guys every day, mindfulness is something crucial that everyone needs. So especially with the new system that's going to come into play with how schools are going to reopen all around the world and stuff, everyone needs mindfulness. Everyone needs to adjust. So the summit is going to include a lot of Broward County Public Schools. We're working with them very closely. We also have the physical mindfulness masterclass, which is what I was speaking to you guys with. The Derek Wingo, who's going to be there. Caleb Boateng from Clemson University, national champion over here. You're going to be with Callie Canaval, who's a D1 5-star Harvard football player now. There's going to be some soccer players that go to University of Central Florida, which is a D1 NCAA school. So all of these people obviously deal with pressure. They deal with stress. They deal with school on top of sports, school on top of social media. So they all have that pressure. They all have to practice that mindfulness. And they're going to share with you guys how they deal with it so that you guys, if you're athletes, if you guys are influencers, if you guys are literally anything, you can also gain from this summit. So definitely be part of it. There's going to be a meditation and grounding masterclass, which is going to be with lifelong mindfulness practitioner and teacher, which is Daniel Katz, who's obviously a member of here. You've seen him. He's provided us with my meditations. He does a podcast weekly. He's the one that really taught a lot of us all about meditations and mindfulness himself. So it's a really great that he's going to be able to do this with us. Obviously, he's really excited for this. He's obviously going to talk about it in his podcast in the upcoming weeks. There's going to be a licensed mental health counselor, which is Sierra. She's also going to be part of the Q&A. You guys can ask her whatever you guys need. And actor Thomas Scholl, which is obviously, he's dealing with stress all the time with acting like everyone else does with the athletes and the influencers. So obviously this is a really broad audience because like we always say, mindfulness is for everyone, literally everyone. So join us on August 1st. And just to give you guys a little background, obviously we should have started with the background, but Jake and I have been parts of several workshops, several summits involving mindfulness in the past. So what Jake and I are going to tell you guys is how it's helped us. Like we've had sessions with aromatherapy, sessions with sound healing, which were all workshops. And all of those things always teach us new techniques, new ways to look at mindfulness and new ways to practice mindfulness. So it really does help. It really does work. Jake, I'm sure you want to share a couple of your experiences.
Well, yeah, I mean, as an organization, one of my favorite parts of everything we've learned from everything from the sound healing and the aromatherapy, one of my favorite things was when you get to apply mindfulness to your environment. One time we had a person come in and teach us essentially how to be less wasteful, which I thought was really important to what happens today is we find ourselves possibly using more than we need or overusing certain aspects of our environment. And I thought being able to apply mindfulness to something like that would be able to help not only us, but everyone, because once you're helping your environment, once you're becoming one with what you're using, it's a lot easier to be conscious of overusing it. So, plus, I think the most exciting part is, as an organization, being able to see Broward County Public Schools join on is amazing, because you've got Broward County Public Schools as a district, which is, I believe, top 5 in size in the country. So we're really put into a position where we can impact as many people as possible, and hopefully be able to impact more people as a result of the partnership.
Of course, and yeah, this is, like we said earlier, this is only the beginning. This is our first summit. Hopefully it is big. Hopefully we attract a big audience, because especially with what's going on in the world right now, I think mindfulness would be beneficial to everyone. Everyone has to adjust to the pandemic. Everyone has to adjust to the new learning environments, new sports environments. Obviously, it's difficult, and we all deal with stress and stuff like that in different ways. So just having these new techniques that we're going to provide in this summit, I think is going to be very beneficial to everyone, from students to teachers to business owners to businesses in themselves to athletes, everyone, honestly. So this is like just the beginning. Hopefully we can have one in person in the near future. And when we do that, we should have a bunch of more breakout sessions, bigger groups. We're obviously talking with other celebrities, athletes, anything you can think of. We're talking to them, trying to get them to come with us. And hopefully that will happen in the near future. Like we said, August 1st, it's going to be held through Zoom, and I forgot what, Hey Summit. Yes, Hey Summit and Zoom. So on August 1st, Hey Summit and Zoom. Please follow us on social media on Mindful Me Inc. on Instagram, where you can stay up to date with all the new, that's where we're sharing all the new members that are going to be on the summit, all the new guests, the certain dates and times, the agenda, the schedule for this summit. So if you want to stay up to date with that, it's Mindful Me Inc. on Instagram. Obviously, Mindful has 2 L's in the full. Our website, obviously, which is what Jake told you guys about, on how to register for this summit. Please do so. You have nothing but time right now with this pandemic. So join us for this day-long summit. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So not even the day long, a couple of hours of your time to really gain some crucial information that's going to help you in the long run. Jake, anything else?
I think that about sums it up. If you want more regular updates, if you're not on social media, obviously all of our news will be on our website. But as for now, I believe we summed up how we'll be able to get you to absorb through education. So without further ado, that was the Need to Heat podcast with Jake Lynch
and Fernando Davila. And always remember, if you have any suggestions, please give it to us in the comments, in our social media platforms, or on our website, especially if you want something specific in our summit. We are more than open to ideas, and we'll work very hard to provide you guys with everything you want. Thank you, guys.